My blood's still boiling over that one, Councillor, so I'm going to ask GM Elliott to please speak to that.
Metrolinx reversal threatens to add $60 million to Innisfil Road project. After nearly 10 years of aggregate planning on a level railway crossing at Innisfil Beach Road, Metrolinx is demanding a full-grade separation using a bridge or underpass. The county estimates the cost of at least $60 million, money that has never budgeted and has no identified funding source.
So we will be responding to the staff level at Metrolinx and seeking political influence to this one as well.
Council referred the Metrolinx letter to staff rather than receive it, avoiding any appearance of acceptance, and plans to push back through Association of Municipalities of Ontario and political channels in coordination with the Town of Innisfil. Because Metrolinx is a provincial agency, the county cannot simply refuse. Simcoe County took a series of housing initiatives during a recent meeting, taking aim at the rental shortage, chasing federal dollars, and breaking ground on a seniors building upgrade, all in the same session. Simcoe County approved a new property tax subclass offering up to 35% discounts on new multi-residential rental buildings to stimulate housing supply. The exact discount rate will be set in a future bylaw reviewed annually. Councillor James Leduc, Mayor of Bradford West Gwillimbury, pushed for affordability conditions to be attached.
To me, affordability was the issue. That's what I'm hoping to gain is affordability. So option 3 had the affordability factor for having that included. So I certainly don't want to support the fact that we're going to give new multi-res a 35% reduction without having some affordability factor built into that. Even if it's a percentage of that building, if it's a 10% aspect, we do it now with our own buildings. So when it comes to our housing corporation, the buildings we're building now, we have different levels of residents in there. So
staff confirmed that different rates would apply to affordable versus market rent units. Council authorized staff to apply to the federal Build Canada Homes program for 355 units already in development. There is no deadline, but earlier applications are prioritized. Funding could allow expansion of smaller projects such as a garden suite pilot growing from 3 to 9 units.
There's no real deadline other than the sooner you apply, the more likely you'll be prioritized, as they are focused on getting a lot of projects that are already underway funded. So we believe that this will be a strong application.
The 69 Harriet Street Seniors Building will gain 11 new units on an added floor, a full renovation, and the first accessible elevator in the Penetanguishene Midland area. The project is also listed in the Build Canada Homes application.
This is one of our projects that's slated to start later this year. Again, this is also listed on the Build Canada application. It is a really good one because it's exactly what they're looking for, taking existing properties and renovating them to create more affordable housing, as well as a lot of green initiatives would qualify for this project. I know we were also attempting to get funding through that as we modernize the building and make it more energy efficient as well.
Province's new Bring Your Own Alcohol permits left county festival scrambling. Ontario is expanding Bring Your Own Booze permits to cultural and community outdoor events starting April 30th. But municipalities must first pass a bylaw and set up a local approval process, and so far no implementation guidance has been provided by the province.
My immediate thought was not only around policing, because when you coordinate events like this, there's so many restrictions: fencing, security, on-duty officers, age access, whether it's the entire festival or a VIP alcohol area, whatever. But also, too, a lot of our festivals, these alcohol services are provided by not-for-profit organizations, and or they are part of the operating infrastructure of that festival. It's a key piece to financially sustaining that as it goes forward. So that would be another component of the conversation that I'd like to see addressed at AMO as well, because we may see a loss of a lot of festivals without the alcohol support sales.
County's tourism festival strategy launched after a sold-out workshop. More than 40 festival and event organizers attended a sold-out county workshop led by consulting firm BC Hughes. The 2026 work plan focuses on keeping visitors in the region longer by linking single-day events to broader county attractions. County's entrepreneurship Innovation Fund approved 6 projects. Council approved more than $100,000 across 6 projects covering AI literacy, agri-food support, and entrepreneurship decision tools, up from $75,000 distributed last year.
The Entrepreneurship Innovation Fund is designed to foster new and innovative entrepreneurship programs across the county to support our entrepreneurs. So these programs don't fund existing operations of our entrepreneurship partners. The report provides an overview and recommendations regarding 6 applications received for the program in 2026.
A severe ice storm left parts of Simcoe County without power and resources last March. 1 year later, staff reported 32 action items across preparedness, planning, communication, and coordination, with work continuing across municipal parts.
Continues to work with our municipal partners on those areas of improvement. So lots of good partnership that came out of this terrible disaster, and lots of lessons learned to continue to strengthen and improve our programs.
Following is the coverage of the county meeting.
Thank you, Your Worship, and good morning, Council. This is resolution with regards to performance management for March 10th, 2026, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Norcross. Resolution being the performance management recommendations contained within the Committee of the Whole report dated March 10th, 2026 be approved. Thank you, Warden.
Thank you. Is there any items to be pulled from performance management? Councillor Duke.
Warden, I'd like to pull the presentation on the multi-res. So it's CCW 2026-075, I think. Subclass. Yes.
075. So we'll
Yes.
pull that one for a separate discussion. On the rest of the agenda, any other items to be pulled? Then all in favor? That is carried. Okay, we've got the one item pulled. I'll turn the chair over to you, Councillor Leduc.
Thank you, Warden, and I apologize to Council, the House, that I had to leave that day. I left a little early, and I apologize to the province. They don't give us much time when it comes to meetings. I don't know about the full discussion on this, but I was concerned that we had given a 35% reduction to multi-res, and the option 4 gives the reduction to all multi-res, all future multi-res. And I'm concerned that I understand the explanation in regards to it's to stimulate the economy. But to me, affordability was the issue. That's what I'm hoping to gain is affordability. So option 3 had the affordability factor for having that included. So, option 4 allows us to do multi-res and give a 35% reduction. I don't know when you read the bylaws, there's no allocation in there about what percentage we're giving. I don't know if council talked about what type of percentage they wanted to give, if it was 35% or if they were going to change that to a lower percentage for that new multi-res system. So I apologize. I don't have the full information of what happened that day, but I certainly don't want to support the fact that we're going to give new multi-res a 35% reduction without having some affordability factor built into that. Even if it's a percentage of that building, if it's a 10% aspect, we do it now with our own buildings. So when it comes to our housing corporation, we the building per building now, where we have different levels of residents in there. So just wanting to find out what the conversation was at that meeting, and if there was some appetite to look at that reduction and set an actual percentage of reduction in there. The bylaw doesn't specifically speak to it, so I'm just curious of what we're actually going to give to those new multi-res buildings. Thanks.
Perfect. Before I turned over to Mark, I know a lot of the discussion that happened that day were around the fact that there's a shortage of rentals across the board. Whether it's affordable housing, all rental units, there's a shortage. And this was to stimulate that market to help try and get it created, keeping in mind at any time council can claw that back. Now, the contracts you've agreed to, was it 30 years? I'm trying to, just offhand, they would be locked in. But then at any point when we see we now have enough rentals, we can move away from it. Mark, anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. Through the chair to Councillor Leduc, and I'll turn it over to our treasurer, Leland Civic. But I would agree. There was Peter Fries, our consultant, was here. There was a good discussion around kind of the dearth of multi-residential that currently exists across the in terms of trying to make affordable housing. And the bylaw, basically as it sits, allows us to provide rebates up to 35%. It can be reviewed on an annual basis. That was one thing Peter highlighted. Every year you set your rates and ratios. But we could do a different rate for affordable multi-residential versus regular or market rent multi-residential. But I'll turn it over to the treasurer.
Thank you, through the chair, or through the warden. The two bylaws that are included establish the subclasses through the Assessment Act. The percentage discounts will be a separate report coming back to County Council, where we'll establish the discounts that can be used. And as Mark just pointed out, they would be reviewed on an annual basis as other subclass discounts are set. So there was not a discount set last 2 weeks ago. That would be done in a future bylaw.
Supplementary, go ahead.
Oh, just one further question. Option 3 had a costing of $155,000 that was going to be spread out amongst other classes. So I just wondered, is option 4 the same number? Are we looking at $155,000 that's spread out, or do we have a number for option 4 for that?
Treasurer, go ahead.
Existing?
That's an estimate because at this point these buildings or properties, the new multi-res hasn't been, we don't know what that is because they haven't been built. The affordable, that was basically an estimate of what the affordable portion would be.
Okay, any other questions on that item? So I have the original motion, but I don't have the original mover. It was Councillor Fryer and Councillor Corbell. So I would need a new mover to receive. Councillor Fowler, seconded by Councillor Corbell. And Jonathan, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Yes, we'll put it up on the screen. Okay. That item CCW 2026-075 dated March 10th, 2026 regarding multi-residential property tax subclass be received, and that option 4 to adopt the multi-residential property tax subclass for all existing affordable units and all future multi-residential buildings as generally outlined in item CCW 2026-075 be approved, and that the necessary bylaw be presented to adopt the multi-residential property tax subclass. So it's on the floor. There's no further questions. All in favor? That is carried. All opposed? Thank you. Next, I have, I believe it's Chair Measures, Human Services, please.
Thank you. Your Worship, good morning, and good morning to members of council. This is the Committee of the Whole report for Human Services for March the 10th, 2026. I'll ask that it be moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Anderson that the Human Services recommendations contained within the Committee of the Whole report dated March the 10th, 2026 be approved. Your Worship.
Thank you. Any items to be pulled from Human Services? I'm not seeing any, so all in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Boy, I've got nothing under presentations and considerations of special committee reports, no county officers report. No notices of motion, no notices of previous motions, no closed sessions. Considerations of the bylaw. Councillor Norcross, please. Consideration of the bylaws. Councillor Norcross.
Sorry, Your Worship, Councillor Burkett was talking.
Throw your friend under the bus.
Sorry, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Burkett. That bylaws number 7171-26, 7172-26, 7173-26, 7174-26, 7175-26, and 7176-26 be enacted as bylaws of the County of Simcoe. Thank you, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on the bylaws? Not seeing any, so all in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Announcements. First, I'm going to turn it over to General Manager Fayez Beguet to introduce one of our new directors.
Thank you, Ward, and good morning, everyone. I'd just like to introduce you to our new Director of Community Partnerships, Business Intelligence and Policy. It's a mouthful. But Joseph Stalteri comes from the City of Toronto and comes with 20 years of experience in this area in municipal leadership. So he's on his second day here at the county. So we thought we'd bring him to council. So yeah, I just want to welcome Joseph, and we're really glad to have him on the team. He'll be working on projects like our community partnerships, which shows the local immigration partnerships, all the programs and events that come through the local immigration partnerships, as well as our business intelligence, where you've seen a lot of our dashboard work and all of our data strategies, and then as well as our policy shop that produces all the policies that back end all of our services throughout the county that we deliver. So thank you.
Well, day two, so I still see the big smile on your face, sir. Anything you'd like to say? And welcome.
Thank you very much, Council. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So with that, any more announcements by members of council? Yes, Councillor McDonald.
Thank you, Warden. We'd just like to let you know we have a hat trick hockey tournament for Soldier Memorial Hospital, which includes Agilitas, Serrano, New Tecumseh, and Essa Townships. So it's April 19th, and all proceeds go to the hospital. And we have no borders. No, we even have the police and the fire that are going to do it, but they're going to cross. They're not going to be on one team or another. Everybody's intermixing, and this is something that came together, and we're very proud that we're working together as one. So, and we have tickets here. They're only $10. So.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
We'll do the lobbying afterwards when we step out. Councillor Measures.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have two announcements, if I may. The first one is I'd like to speak briefly to the House and to anyone else who's listening to acknowledge that on April the 7th will be Green Shirt Day. Green Shirt Day is celebrated across Canada as recognition of organ and tissue donation, and Green Shirt Day was sort of initiated just at the time the tragedy of the Humboldt Broncos bus crash that happened in Saskatchewan. A young hockey player there named Boulette, who had recently signed his organ donor card in Saskatchewan, and tragically he became a donor and saved other lives with his gift of life. And so Green Shirt Day is celebrated and honored on that day for all of those people who have either received organ or tissue donation, or those that are registered to sign up and offer that gift when the time comes. And the event, of course, is flag raisings across the community. Certainly in my community at Clearview, we will be hosting a flag raising. And as part of that, the Trillium Foundation in Ontario runs a program that they have called the Green Ribbon Campaign. Perhaps you may have noticed I wear a green ribbon so often, as I do to recognize my brother who passed away some 11, 12 years ago now. And he was an organ donor. So I just wanted to bring that to the attention of the House and consider that. Go online to beadonor.ca is the website you can go to register to become a registered donor in Ontario. The second announcement I have, Your Worship, is perhaps a little lighter in commentary. I would like to acknowledge that, hockey is a wonderful sport in this great country, and none better than what happens right here in Simcoe County with the Junior C hockey leagues. We have some fabulous teams across our whole region in Simcoe, and we all play down as hockey teams, play to the playoffs and go for the Carruthers Cup. So as it would be, Alliston and Stayner are against each other in the Carruthers Cup once again this year. And so my friend and colleague, the mayor of the great town of New Tecumseh, and myself are, of course, very much interested in hockey, and we're going to be watching each other very closely as the playoffs progress. We are currently at, it's a 7-game series as always. It's tied right now. Thursday night will be the rubber match, and we'll see where things go. Mayor Norcross. All the best.
Do I suspect I hear a small wager and a swapping of jerseys? Is that?
Your Worship, if I may, thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Your Worship. Yes, and I did honor the bet last time, and I wore Councillor Measures' jersey at the council table, so I do honor my bets. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. But I made sure I got a nice shirt for you to wear this year, sir. Thank you.
I've got one that'll fit you, no trouble.
I actually took the liberty of having your name put on the back of it, sir. Thank you.
Lots of confidence there. Councillor Dolan, I think you had some announcements.
I did. First of all, I want to wish best of luck to both Alliston and Stainer. In Innisfil, we feel like we won when we actually got to acquire a junior C team for the first time since about the 70s. So we're really happy to have the Spartans in Innisfil since the Bruins left Stroud many, many years ago. The announcement I wanted to make was actually, I was very, very saddened to hear of the passing of Simon Ainley over this past week. Simon was the chairman of the board of the Ainley Group and certainly has his, I want to say fingerprints, but heart stamp on many, many, many communities in Simcoe County. He was a very kind and gentle and giving person, and it was so apparent. I did attend in the beautiful municipality of Clearview, and Stainer, I attended his visitation on Sunday. It was absolutely packed, and our condolences go out to his wife Sharon and his family and coworkers.
Thank you, Councillor Dolan. Councillor Rawson.
Thank you, Worship. I just want to extend a thank you to Mina Fayez-Baguette, Andrew Scarvelli, and Brittany Donner-Gilroy, who recently was at our municipal council to do a presentation on the 10-year housing strategy and homeless strategy, which I know my council and staff and community really, really appreciated the depth and the expertise being done. Hats off, and just an extra applaud and appreciation for that. Thank you.
Thank you. And alternate Councillor Blanchet.
And thank you. And through the chair, my announcement is with the hockey theme. Our Wasaga River Dragons, in their second year in the league, are playing for the championship of Ontario. Unfortunately, they're down 2 games. But if you want exciting hockey, the next games in Wasaga are tonight and Friday night. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other announcements? Then I will go to Councillor Norcross for the confirmatory bylaw.
Thank you, Your Worship. It is moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Rawson, that bylaw number 7177-26 be enacted as a bylaw of the County of Simcoe. Thank you, Your Worship.
All in favor? That is carried. And lastly, that the March 24th, 2026 meeting of County Council be adjourned at 9:22. Moved by alternate Councillor Jeffrey, second by alternate Councillor Broderick. Sorry, John. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you.
Thank you. Moved by myself and seconded by alternate Councillor Verkuyk that the agenda for the March 24th, 2026 meeting of Committee of the Whole be approved.
Any questions on the agenda? Not seeing any, so all in favor? That is carried. Thank you. And do I have a disclosure of pecuniary interest by any member of council? Once again, if you find yourself in that situation later, please declare it at that time. Presentations and delegations, all sections, I have none, but Human Services, Chair Measures, if you would, please.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. Welcome, members of committee. This is the Human Services section, and so we're going to start with our Human Services consent items. There are 3 very good items on here. What I'll do is I'll ask our General Manager Sinclair to comment first on the first item, which is CCW 2026-090. This is the report about the ice storm and the lessons learned. And I see Grant Dufresne has joined us. He's from Emergency Services, and this is his report. But perhaps, Ms. Sinclair, you can lead us off.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. This report provides some highlights to the ice storm that happened approximately a year ago. And the many lessons learned. This certainly was an effort of partnership and cooperation across many municipalities and many lessons learned. So you can see contained within the report, there was 4 key areas: preparedness, planning, communication, and coordination. I think we have 32 action items as a result. And our team continues to work with our municipal partners on those areas of improvement. So lots of good partnership that came out of this terrible disaster, and lots of lessons learned to continue to strengthen and improve our programs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from the floor? As I mentioned, Mr. Dufresne is here. It's a very good report. Give a quick commentary. It was really encouraging to see the great cooperation between municipalities during this event, And I think that Grant's report really highlighted the level of cooperation between municipal leadership and municipal public works departments, particularly, who are able to deploy resources. So it demonstrates that we do work together for sure. If there's no questions, I'll take mover, perhaps Mr. Greenlaw, and perhaps Mayor McIsaac would like to move and second this item. Chair, sorry, this is. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. This is a part of the entire report. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I just wanted to highlight this was a great report, so thank you. We're going to move to our next item then to GM Sinclair. We have the strong volunteer program update. Ms. Sinclair, do you have any comments on that?
Just that we're extremely appreciative of our volunteer program. As you can see, it spans across multiple departments and continues to grow. And we will be celebrating the week of April 19th through the 25th. So there are some events at our 4 locations, and we certainly welcome council members to join in those thanks and appreciation events. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions to this one? Yes. Councillor Cox.
Yeah, I just have a comment through the chair. It's nice to see that the volunteers are increasing, because I know in a lot of communities, and I know with a lot of the committees I'm on, the volunteers are decreasing. So I don't know what it is that you do, but it must be maybe that what you're doing really touches the hearts of people or something. But I just want to commend volunteers, because they are the countless people who do all the work. And I do remember a poem one time, and at the end of it basically says all those hours of you volunteering for people, those are the people who will now serve you in the end when you know your days are done. But it's wonderful to see this, and thank you very much.
Good comments. Thank you very much. Or anything further? All right, we're going to move on to our third item then in our consent agenda, which is the National Public Safety Telecommunications National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. GM Sinclair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick note that we take great pride in honoring. These are the unsung heroes behind the scenes. And we will actually be having our 911 awards ceremony on April 16th. And again, we welcome all to attend those activities. So we're very, very appreciative of these individuals who do make a difference.
Thank you, GM. Is there any questions on that? Well done to our telecommunications team. So at this time, then, the resolution is moved by Councillor Greenlaw, seconded by Mayor McIsaac, that the following consent items, having been given due consideration, be received. Yes. Okay. Councillor Fowler, rather than Mayor McIsaac, for the seconding. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Clerk, for clarifying that. I'll call the motion then. All those in favor? Thank you. That carries. Human Services Community Housing. We do have an item here for the Canada Build Homes funding opportunity. GM Fayez-Baguette, would you like to speak to this?
Thank you, Mayor, Chair Measures. So this is our update to Council on our first funding opportunity in the new 10-year homelessness and housing strategy that we passed this past November. If you recall in that strategy, we have shared how much the county itself is committed to creating affordable housing and the amount of units that we have in flight right now. But we know that we can do more if we get both federal and provincial contributions. So the Build Canada program is a federal funding, capital funding program to help us create more affordable housing. So we are coming to council just for sharing information, but seeking approval for us to submit an application with specifically tied to 355 units that are currently in flight that we believe will qualify for the fund. There's no real deadline other than the sooner you apply, the more likely you'll be prioritized, as they are focused on getting a lot of projects that are already underway funded. So we believe that this will be a strong application. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the comments. Are there any questions from the floor? Yes, Mr. Jay Follis, please.
Thanks very much. Through the chair, just a quick question to Mina. Just curious if this will positively potentially impact the timeline at all. Thanks.
Through you, Chair Measures. Thanks for the question, Councillor Palace. I think for our projects that we've listed here, the majority of them are already kind of on time and in flight. So, for example, like Rose, Birch, and Harriet are pretty much lined up as we planned. So maybe not move forward the timeline, but what it could do is it could enhance our other projects, particularly the garden suite units. Instead of piloting 3, maybe we can do 9 or something like that. So there could be an opportunity for intensification on those standalone projects. But I think everything else is pretty much lined up, knock on wood. This won't slow us down for sure, but it will certainly help us intensify on those standalones.
Thank you very much. Are there any further questions? Not seeing any. Can I get a mover and seconder, please, on the floor? Alternate Councillor Jeffrey and, oh, there we are. Mr. Bell, we'll take Mr. Bell. And the item is that CCW 2026-085 dated March 24th, 2026, Build Canada Homes funding opportunity be received, and that staff engage Build Canada Homes to apply for eligible funding opportunities as generally outlined in item CCW 2026-085, and that the signing officers for the County of Simcoe and/or Simcoe County Housing Corporation, as appropriate, execute all required applications, agreements, and documents. Anything further? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? And that carries. Thank you very much. Next item is number 69 Harriet Street, intensification and rehabilitation. So GM Fayez-Baguette, would you like to have any comments on this one?
Thank you, Chair Measures. Yes, so this is one of our projects that's slated to start later this year. This is an interesting one. It's an intensification of a seniors building in Penetanguishene to add an extra floor, 11 units, plus an elevator well, and to re-renovate or revitalize the current building. We've already started to plan our client relocation strategy in order for the building to be emptied so that we can fully renovate the whole property. The most important part of this project is it does introduce an elevator into the property, which then makes the building accessible, which then allows this to be the first building in the Penetanguishene Midland area to have an accessible elevator for all of our other seniors buildings. So we have seniors waiting in other buildings on the wait list for an accessible unit. So this will help forward a lot of people and get them to the more appropriate space. Again, this is also listed on the Build Canada application. It is a really good one because it's exactly what they're looking for, taking existing properties and renovating them to create more affordable housing, as well as a lot of green initiatives would qualify for this project. I know we were also attempting to get funding through that as we modernize the building and make it more energy efficient as well.
Well done. Thank you very much. Are there any questions to GM Fayez-Baguette on this? Seeing no questions. All right. Perhaps Councillor Snell and Councillor Rawson as the mover and seconder for this item, that item CCW 2026-086, dated March 24th, 2026, regarding the 69 Harriet Street intensification and rehabilitation project be received. And that staff proceed with the appropriate planning approvals and final design for building construction readiness for the Harriet Street intensification and rehabilitation project as generally outlined within item CCW 2026-086. And that staff continue to investigate and apply for funding opportunities, including Build Canada Homes, and that should staff be successful in obtaining the balance of funding of the grant loan contributions for the estimated costing of the project, that it be applied to the project, and staff proceed with the site preparation, building permit, and construction activities as generally outlined within item CCW 2026-086, and that the signing officers for the Simcoe County Housing Corporation execute all required application agreements and documents. Nothing further from the floor. I'll call the motion. All in favor? That carries. Thank you very much. Moving over to item 7, which is our Long-Term Care Committee of Management, the Multi-Sector Service Accountability Agreement update. All right, GM Sinclair, do you have anything you'd like to add to this?
Through you, Mr. Chair, this is just simply an extension of the current agreement for 1-year term.
All right, very good. Is there anybody who would like any questions on this? Seeing none, can I ask for a mover and seconder, please, on the floor? Okay, Mr. Alternate Councillor Broderick, and seconded by Alternate Councillor Verkuyk. Broderick and Verkuyk, thank you. That item CCW 2026-089, dated March 24th, 2026, regarding the multi-sector accountability agreement update be received, and that the warden and county clerk execute the annual declaration of compliance for the corporation of the county of Simcoe as required for the multi-sector service accountability agreement attached to Schedule 1 to item CCW 2026-089, and that the warden and county clerk be authorized to execute amendments to the agreement proposed by Ontario Health, subject to review of the General Manager of Health and Emergency Services, and are related to approved county programs or operations governed by the multi-sector service accountability agreement. Nothing further, members? I'll call the motion. All in favor? That carries. Thank you very much. Here's a item about the living classroom partnerships with the Simcoe County or Simcoe Muskoka Catholic District School Board. GM Sinclair, this is a very interesting report. Do you have any comments you'd like to add?
Through you, Mr. Chair, just to say that we're so pleased with the expansion of this program. It started small at our home in a really Trillium manner, and it is now expanded to all 4 of our long-term care homes. It's really a win-win. It allows the students the entire experience, both the classroom and caring for residents within the long-term care setting, and it provides us with an opportunity to recruit them at the end of their placement. So it's really a great program we're thrilled with.
Wonderful. That's a good program. Are there any questions? Yes, Councillor Snell.
Thank you, through the chair. I just wanted to say congratulations on such a great program. You know, we all need to look at innovative ways to engage students for active, real live-worked experience before they go into post-secondary. And I think that was the intention of the Ministry of Education when they installed the CAP program, Career and Personal Planning Hours. But sometimes they don't get applied to actually test the field that they're looking to go into. So I really think this is such a great, innovative program, and congratulations to your team.
Good comments. Thank you very much. Are there any further questions or comments? All right, then I'll look for a mover and seconder on the floor. Perhaps Councillor, okay, we'll go to Councillor Belanger and then Councillor Fowler right up here. Thank you. That item CCW 2026-092, dated March the 24th, 2026, regarding the Living Classroom Partnership at the Simcoe Muskoka Catholic District School Board update be received. Any further? I'll call the motion. All in favor? Thank you. That carries. Thank you. Long-term care quality improvement plan for 2026-2027. GM Sinclair has got a very good report here with a lot of schedules about what's going on. GM Sinclair, do you have any comments?
Through you, Mr. Chair, just that these quality improvement plans are extremely important for our 4 long-term care homes. They really drive our services. So we're pleased to bring an update on the 2025 status of our quality improvement plans and our proposed plans for 2026.
Very good. Any questions to the report? All right, seeing none, can I look for a mover and seconder off the floor on this one? Councillor McDonald and Councillor Cox. Thank you. Item CCW 2026-093, dated March 24th, 2026, regarding the long-term care quality improvement plans for 2026-2027 be received, and that the warden and clerk be authorized to sign the County of Simcoe long-term care quality improvement plans for 2026-2027 attached to this item as Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 and Schedule 3 and Schedule 4. Any further? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? And that carries unanimously. Thank you. And we do have a long-term care service accountability agreement also from the GM Sinclair. Is there anything further you want to
add? Similar to the MSAW agreement, this is simply a 1-year extension of our current agreement.
Thank you. Any questions from the floor on this one? Seeing none, I'll look for a mover and seconder on this one. Okay, the Deputy Warden, thank you, and Councillor Hamlin. And the item is that item CCW 2026-099, dated March 24, 2026, regarding the long-term care service accountability agreement update be received, and that the warden and county clerk execute the declaration of compliance for the corporation of the county of Simcoe as required. The long-term care service accountability agreement attached as Schedule 3 to item CCW 2026-099, and that the warden and county clerk be authorized to execute amendments to the agreement proposed by Ontario Health, subject to the review of the General Manager of Health and Emergency Services, and are related to approved county programs or operations governed by the long-term care service accountability agreement. Are there any further questions? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? That carries. At this time, are there any other matters before us? And I think we have possibility that I may have to pass this. Yes, I'm going to pass it to the warden for his on this next item. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. There is an in-camera item 14.3. Does anybody feel the need to, any questions on it or want any discussion in camera? Report was pretty straight. Not seeing any, so then we will just deal with that motion at the end of the meeting then. So thank you, Mr. Chair. I will now hand it over to Chair Dolan for corporate services.
Thank you, Warden.
Sorry, I just want to thank the city reps for coming in today.
Thank you. So we're on item 9.1 and 9.2 for corporate services, the consent agenda. So there's two items. One is the new service provider for the Lynx Transit, and the second one is a report from Metrolinx. Did anybody want to pull any of those two items? Councillor Fowler.
Thank you, Chair Dolan. I just have a question regarding item 9.1. On the second page, the fourth paragraph, it states that Talk Transit will be well positioned to continue to provide the existing 6 fixed routes and specialized services, as well as planned expansion for routes 7 and 8. This vendor recognizes that the transit service delivery review study is currently underway and is prepared for potential service growth, including the new Lynx routes and expanded Lynx Plus service. The previous service provider was not able to include Innisfil in a timely manner due to shortage of buses and transit material. With the new service provider, will that be rectified? Or is it still status quo?
GM Elliott.
Thank you, through the chair. So the order of the buses is still in process right now. So that won't change because we actually procured them through the County of Simcoe, not through the service provider. Now, however, Talk is a large outfit in terms of adjusting and accommodating any operational changes. We think that they'll be very responsive and nimble to be able to implement those changes. The timing of the buses won't change as a result of this.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Councillor Leduc.
Just on 9.2, if we, yeah.
My blood's still boiling over that one, Councillor, so I'm going to ask GM Elliott to please speak to that.
Thank you.
Certainly. So thank you through the chair. Item 9.2, staff felt it was important to share this letter that we received from Metrolinx on March 11th. And it's in regards to the Innisfil Beach Road reconstruction project. You're likely aware that that's a reconstruction project that's been ongoing for a couple of years. And it's fairly significant in that it includes a multitude of underground infrastructure as well. But when it comes to the railway crossing, staff has been working with Metrolinx for the better part of 10 years, coming up with a safe approach to a level crossing at this interchange or intersection of the railway and Innisfil Beach Road. On the 11th, we received a letter to basically say that they don't agree with that anymore and want us to consider a grade crossing separated or level, whether it's rail over, rail under, that's yet to be determined. But regardless, that would be an expense we hadn't ever anticipated and weren't planning for. We think it's fair in the long term to look for that as a solution, but we don't agree that at this point in time it's warranted. So we will be responding to the staff level at Metrolinx and seeking political influence to this one as well. This is an agenda item on Innisfil's Town Council agenda tomorrow. We'll wait for their position to be confirmed through their council meeting, but consistent with where they land, we will write a letter in opposition to this position, both politically and to the staff at Metrolinx. I think it'd be fair to say a grade separation at this point would start in the $60 million range, and it just hadn't been planned for. So we would like to proceed as planned, and again, in the long term, consider this, but we think at this point it's really not prudent.
Councillor Leduc.
So further to that, is there an opportunity for us to defer this, receiving this letter? I'm not sure what the implications are as receiving this letter. I'd like to, you're talking about sending a message back. It is a $60 million ask of them. And I'd like to make sure that we're not on the hook for something like that. So can we defer this, receiving this until you deal with it at your council level and then come back with your position from your council level, that then this council can make a recommendation to say that, you know, we want to concur with Innisfil's recommendation. So is there something that we could do there to defer this? Would that be something we could do through the clerk?
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Through you, Madam Chair, like procedurally, receiving or not receiving it, I don't know if that makes the world of a difference here. Like what might be best for council to consider is just referring the letter to staff, and then staff, you know, can take account of the town's position and then come back with a report later or report back to council as appropriate.
Thank you, Councillor Duke. Does that
yeah, that sounds great.
Satisfy you?
Yeah, that satisfies me. Yep.
And do you have a seconder for that, Councillor Evans? Thank you. So the first motion then, I'm looking for a mover and a seconder to Councillor Fowler and Councillor Bell that item 9.1 having been due consideration be received, and then moved by all in favor? Thank you. And then for item 9.2 that was moved by Councillor Leduc and seconded by Councillor Evans, that the letter from Metrolinx regarding Innisfil Beach Road grade crossing be referred to staff for further action. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much. Next is item 10.1, and that's planning. And questions or comments, please, on the City of Orillia proposed municipal boundary adjustments, County of Simcoe response to the proposal options. Questions or comments from the floor? Seeing none. GM Elliott, anything to add?
Yeah, thank you through the chair. Just at the highest level, we are seeking direction to pursue the option 1. That's highlighted on the schedule 1 as a map. It identifies the lands for both some residential and non-residential lands that Orillia has identified as being appropriate for a modest expansion. Their planning horizon is the 2051 period. So we think it's prudent to work with them. A decision's not being made at this point, and nothing is likely to happen on this until 2027.
Councillor Burkett.
Thank you. Through Madam Chair, and we're happy to support option 1. If you look on the map, Area 3 has been on Severn's books for 30 years. Part of the OMB decision was that we had to partner with Orillia for water and sewers, and that has never happened. It is a vacant piece of land. Area 2 that they're looking at has one home, one business on it. It's rural lands that we can never develop. So Orillia annexing those lands makes total sense. And if you look at the map, it's where growth is happening. So we are happy with option 1. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So Councillor Greenlaw.
Thank you very much, Chair Dolan. Oromadani is also in support of option 1, as the lands that it impacts within our township are best utilized at Memorial and Woodland, as the land's not large enough for it, which is zoned in industrial, for us to put tile beds in to utilize that land. So this is good use of that land. And the other section in Oromadani is along Highway 12, which would clean up some clearer lines of divisions between the municipality and the City of Orillia. So we're also in support of option 1.
Thank you very much. It sounds like the City of Orillia could write a book on how to do boundary adjustments, but I'll have that moved by Councillor Burkett and seconded by Councillor Greenlaw that item CCW 2026-080 dated March 24th, 2026 regarding the City of Orillia proposed municipal boundary adjustments, County of Simcoe response to proposal options be received, and that the warden provide a letter to the City of Orillia with the County of Simcoe's comments aligned with the recommendations generally outlined in CCW 2026-080. Any further comments? All those in favor? That is carried. And item 11 is other matters of consideration for corporate services. We have 11.1, which is the Economic Development Subcommittee report from March the 10th. Councillor Cox.
Yeah, I would like to, through the chair, to ask Nancy to speak to the economic development strategy and the update on investment, if she would, just to let everyone know what's going on, because I think it's very important, these documents are. And I just think it's something I'd like her to comment on. Thank you.
Thank you. Through you, Director Huther.
Thank you. Through you, Chair Dolan. Yes, this is an economic development strategy update report, and the report provides an overview of the plan, scope, and deliverables for the county's economic development strategy update. As the 2021 to 2025 strategy has reached the end of its 5-year term and has largely been implemented, an update is being undertaken. The strategy will guide economic development activities for the next 5 years, and it will include key objectives for economic development, detailed action plans, responsibilities, as well as key performance measures. The report outlines scope and deliverables that will include significant stakeholder engagement through consultation with our local municipalities, Indigenous communities, business and industry leaders, developers and investors, sector organizations, as well as educational institutions and workforce partners. The consultation will include surveys, one-on-one interviews, as well as focus groups. And input gathered through these consultations will directly inform the strategy's priorities and recommended actions. Project timelines include stakeholder consultation commencing in the second quarter of this year, and the final strategy being completed and presented in the first quarter of 2027. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Councillor Cox.
Sorry, and I also wanted Nancy to sort of give an overview of, it's excellent, the Entrepreneurial Innovation Fund, so that everyone can see, you know, where everything's going and how many people we help.
Director Huther.
Thank you. Through you, Chair Dolan. The Entrepreneurship Innovation Fund is designed to foster new and innovative entrepreneurship programs across the county to support our entrepreneurs. So these programs don't fund existing operations of our entrepreneurship partners. The report provides an overview and recommendations regarding 6 applications received for the program in 2026. For funding totaling $110,900. And just to give you some examples of projects, they include projects focused on artificial intelligence, literacy, and adoption among entrepreneurs, self-guided entrepreneur decision support and readiness, as well as specific resources to support entrepreneurs in the agricultural and agri-food sectors. The report highlights recommendations to fund all 6 intake applications for projects occurring all across the county. And the report also provides a summary of the 2025 program report backs, including key achievements from those projects totaling $75,000 in funding. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. Councillor Cox, go ahead.
Sorry. The next one I would like is Catherine Stevenson or Brendan to speak to the wonderful tourism roundtable that they had and the consultant that came in. And it's a tourism plan for festivals and events, which will affect every single municipality. And almost every single one of them was represented there. And I think the one thing I got out of it, because I went, was how everybody wanted to cooperate, work together, and network and learn. It wasn't like we have this and we're over here. So I think, Brendan, I'd like him just to sort of give an update and make sure that all our municipalities get this report. And anyway, thanks, Brendan.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for the question, and through the chair, of course. Festivals and events was identified as an area of opportunity in 2025. We actually had a number of organizers reaching out to better understand how we could support their annual events. And of course, this is above and beyond the tourism, our annual tourism fund. So in partnership with BC Hughes, who's a consulting group that specializes in tourism and experience development, we brought them in for a one-day workshop to facilitate this workshop, and we invited all event organizers, so big or small. We wanted to hear from them, and of course, better understand the gaps, where we can help, and leave the workshop with a strategic plan for supporting our valued partners. So we're incredibly thrilled, as Councillor explained, we're incredibly thrilled with the turnout of the workshop. We had over 40 festivals and event organizers show up. It was a sold-out event, and we had extremely insightful engagement from every operator. And we left that workshop with a strategy for how we can better support our festivals and events organizers, who obviously bring in so many tourists every year. So you'll see in the report, we've identified our 2026 work plan, and outlining how we plan to action a lot of the outcomes from that particular workshop. And just at a very quick high level, some of those action items include tourism research, so leveraging Environics analytics research to understand who's coming, where they're coming from, and understand different activities that they might be interested, so we can move people around. Marketing support, we do a fair amount of paid and organic marketing support for our festivals and event organizers, but how can we beef that up? What else can we do? Because that festivals and events workshop was so successful, we plan to make it an annual thing. So we want to bring our festival events organizers into a room annually, bring in possibly a training element, so we can continue to enhance and grow these festivals and events in our region annually. Regional collaboration was another big outcome from that workshop as well. So, we have visitors coming into our region for a lot of one-day events, but how can we get them to stay longer and visit more attractions and tourism operators in the region, and not just go to that one single event? And that obviously rolls into website enhancements as well. We do have a pretty robust festivals and events calendar, but what else can we do? How can we layer other attractions in the area, so we truly are supporting the region as a whole? So we will be distributing the plan for festivals and events to each municipality, county BIA, events and tourism organizations, and partners across the county. And we look forward to growing festivals and events in the county. So thank you.
Thank you, Brandon and Manager Stevenson, and thank you, Councillor Cox, for highlighting all that important work. Councillor Evans.
Thank you, Chair, and through you to Brandon. And first of all, thank you, Councillor Cox, for a good segue and illuminating what's going on. Unfortunately, sometimes when you're successful, then you get more things to do. And that's a good thing, because when you want to get stuff done, you give it to a busy person, right? And I think there's something that falls under the bailiwick of this committee that's going to have a fairly immediate need, I think, for a lot of people that run festivals. And that is the recent direction by the provincial government to move towards a BYOB program. And we're already sitting at, March 24th, and all of us are starting to plan for the summertime. This is going to have an immediate impact on us, 440 municipalities. The high-level direction has been given, but no implementation plans or directions or guidelines have been given. And like it or not, our communities are going to start saying, well, I want to, I want to drink everywhere, or I want to take booze everywhere, and what are we going to do, and what are our guidelines? So I have an ask, and the ask is a very immediate need for us to collaborate, cooperate, like you've been saying, all the verbs, which are great, but we need to come up with a framework to be able to, run programs moving forward. And, there's a lot of detail. We need a lot of your expertise of people that run these festivals, and I'm not an expert on it by any means, but frankly, to cover our liability on this. There's a huge downside to opening this up. I think from the perspective of It's not a freedom thing from my perspective in terms of allowing people to have more opportunities to imbibe, but it does give us an opportunity to control. And I can speak for our area of the county. There's been kind of unwritten rules about what you can and can't do, which was great in reality, but in the future, this is going to have to be controlled more. And what framework are we going to be doing with this? And I ask for your collaboration on behalf of all the 16 plus the 2 and 440 municipalities. Makes no sense for each of us to start sitting down with our people trying to come up with some framework of how do we do this and what makes sense. So I will just leave it at that. And thanks for all your help. But again, it's unfortunately a pretty immediate need. And this is a township that has never actually had a festival before, but we will this year. And how do we come up with this in a very short order? So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I just wanted to give staff the opportunity if they did want to comment on any of that.
Yes, and thank you. And through the chair, couldn't agree more. I think that's a perfect example of a training opportunity for our festivals and events workshop. There's also opportunities to host more immediate workshops as well. So we could go with a virtual workshop and bring all of our very engaged festivals and event organizers onto a call. We also sit on the Tourism Industry of Ontario Advisory Committee, so we can also bring that up as a concern. So thank you.
Thank you for that. And I can tell you that the AMO board meets Thursday and Friday of this week, and it'll be on our agenda as well. Alternate Councillor Jeffrey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That's what I was going to offer. Councillor Doherty, who sits, offered that at our council meeting last night when this discussion came up. So,
yep. Okay. Councillor Snell.
Thank you, Chair. Through you. Thank you, Councillor Cox, for bringing this forward, because I was reading it as well. And coming from a tourism-based community where that is our sole industry, events and festivals are absolutely key for economic drivers and for tourism and attraction. And I think the more we can collaborate as a region, the better, because people they may come for our blues festival, but then discover a Sweetwater festival in another area or something like that. And then again, I think this department is another great example of the power of being a part of the County of Simcoe, because our events planners, our economic development officers are able to plug into the power and the knowledge that is already here. So thank you very much for those collective and collaborative efforts. And to Councillor Evans' point, when that announcement came forward in regards to bringing your own alcohol to events, my immediate thought was not only around policing, because when you coordinate events like this, there's so many restrictions: fencing, security, on-duty officers, age access, whether it's the entire festival or a VIP alcohol area, whatever. But also, to a lot of our festivals, these alcohol services are provided by not-for-profit organizations, and or they are part of the operating infrastructure of that festival. It's a key piece to financially sustaining that as it goes forward. So that would be another component of the conversation that I'd like to see addressed at AMO as well, because we may see a loss of a lot of festivals without the alcohol support sales. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Good discussion. So I ask Councillor Cox to move and Councillor Snell to second that the recommendations contained within the Economic Development Subcommittee report dated March 10th, 2026 be approved. All those in favor? That is carried. Now we'll move on to item 11.2, which is the Grant Task Force report from March 17th. Questions or comments on that report? Seeing none, could I ask for a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor McClellan and alternate Councillor Broderick, that the recommendations contained within the Grant Task Force report dated March 17th, 2026 be approved. All those in favor? That is carried. Are there any other matters for consideration for corporate services today? Seeing none, I'll pass it back to you, Warden.
Thank you, Chair Dolan. Chair Evans, performance management, please.
Thank you, Your Worship, and welcome again. For performance management, we have 2 consent items today. The first one is 2025 council remuneration and expenses. Second is a letter dated March 16th, 2026 from the Ombudsman of Ontario regarding a closed meeting complaint. Are there any comments or questions on these items? Can I have a mover and a seconder for them to be received, please? Councillor Norris, thank you, and Councillor Prost, thank you very much. The motion is that the following consent items have been given due consideration be received. All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That's passed. Moving on to other matters for consideration, item 13.1, Joint Accessibility Advisory Committee report of March 17th, 2026. Are there any comments or questions on this item? Seeing none, can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Alternate Councillor Vercake, thank you very much. And Alternate Councillor Broderick, thank you very much. The motion is that the recommendations contained within the Joint Accessibility Advisory Committee report dated March 17th, 2026 be approved with the exception of the Township of Aguilatos, Ontario and the Township of Oro-Medonte recommendations. All those in favor? Any opposed? The motion is carried. Thank you very much, and I'll pass it back to you, Warden.
Thank you. Is there anybody who needs to go in closed session for the 3 items? Questions or comments? I am not seeing any, so then I will just read those motions. The first one, the direction in camera and recommendations contained within confidential item CCW 2026-057 dated March 4th, 2026 regarding a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land be approved and voted upon in accordance with section 239(6)B of the Municipal Act. Moved by Councillor Dolan, second by Councillor Anderson. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. The next one, the direction in camera and recommendations contained within confidential item CCW 2026-078 dated March 24th, 2026 regarding labor relations or employee negotiations be voted upon and approved in accordance with section 239(6)B of the Municipal Act. May I have a mover? Councillor Locke, seconded by alternate Councillor Jeffrey. Questions? Obviously not. All in favor? That is carried. And lastly, the direction in camera and recommendations contained within confidential item CCW 2026-094 dated March 24th, 2026 regarding information explicitly supplied in confidence to the municipality or local board by Canada, a province or territory or crown agency or any of them be approved and voted upon in accordance with section 239(6)B of the Municipal Act. Moved by Councillor Miskimen, second by alternate Councillor Sonder. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you.
For Simcoe Community Media, I am Deepak Bidwai. This story was supported by the Local Journalism Initiative.